High above us, in the vast emptiness of space, astronauts have encountered something inexplicable. Strange lights, shadowy figures, and even large, unidentified objects have been reported by those who ventured into the cosmos. These aren't just tall tales, they're first-hand accounts from the brave few who've gazed upon the stars up close. So, what exactly have astronauts seen watching them from the darkness? And why do these encounters often remain shrouded in mystery? Join us as we delve into the extraordinary stories of astronauts who've reported something watching them from a void. Astronauts have long been sharing their experiences of strange sensations and unusual observations during space missions. These testimonies, often shrouded in mystery, have captivated the public imagination and sparked countless debates. One of the most common sensations reported is a feeling of being watched or observed from a distance. This eerie feeling is not easily dismissed, as it comes from highly trained professionals who are accustomed to the rigors of space travel. Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon during the Apollo 14 mission, spoke openly about his experiences. He described a profound sense of connectedness with the universe and a feeling that he was not alone. Mitchell's accounts were not mere figments of his imagination but deeply personal and transformative experiences. He even went on to found the Institute of Newtic Sciences, dedicated to the study of consciousness and its potential impact on reality. Another astronaut, Jerry Linenger, who spent time on the Russian space station Mir, recounted his own strange encounter. During a solo spacewalk, he felt an overwhelming presence, as if something unseen was accompanying him. Linenger, a highly experienced astronaut, struggled to explain the sensation but was certain it was not a product of his imagination. His testimony adds to the growing body of anecdotal evidence that suggests there is more to the cosmos than meets the eye. These personal testimonies, while not scientifically verifiable, offer a glimpse into the profound and sometimes unsettling experiences of those who venture into the unknown. They challenge our understanding of reality and invite us to consider the possibility that there are phenomena beyond our current comprehension. Whether these sensations are psychological, spiritual, or something else entirely, they remain a fascinating aspect of human space exploration. Throughout the history of space exploration, astronauts have reported various visual perceptions that have piqued the interest of both scientists and the public. These reports often describe seeing shapes, movements, or even presences that defy conventional explanation. One of the most common types of visual perceptions reported by astronauts is the observation of unusual lights or objects. These lights can appear as flashes, streaks, or stable points, and they often exhibit movements that are not consistent with known celestial bodies or spacecraft debris. For instance, some astronauts have described seeing lights that move in ways that defy the laws of physics as we understand them, such as sudden changes in direction or velocity. These reports have led to speculation about the possibility of extraterrestrial phenomena, although no definitive evidence has been found to support this conclusion. Another type of visual perception reported by astronauts is the sighting of shapes or structures that seem to be artificial in nature. These reports often describe seeing large, geometric shapes or complex structures that appear to be made by intelligent beings. For example, some astronauts have reported seeing large, triangular shapes that seem to be moving in a coordinated manner. Others have described seeing structures that resemble cities or other signs of advanced technology. These reports are often met with skepticism, as they are difficult to verify and could potentially be the result of misinterpretations of natural phenomena or psychological factors. However, they continue to captivate the imagination of those who are interested in the possibility of life beyond Earth. In addition to seeing lights and shapes, some astronauts have reported feeling a sense of presence or being watched while in space. These experiences are often described as a feeling of being observed by an unseen entity or intelligence. Some astronauts have reported feeling a sudden chill or a sense of unease, as if they were not alone. Others have described seeing shadowy figures or silhouettes that seem to be observing them from a distance. These reports are particularly intriguing, as they suggest that the experiences of astronauts in space may extend beyond the purely visual realm. While these experiences are difficult to explain, they highlight the need for further research into the psychological and physiological effects of space travel on human beings. Despite the intriguing nature of these reports, it is important to approach them with a critical and scientific mindset. Many of the visual perceptions reported by astronauts can be explained by natural phenomena, such as atmospheric disturbances, cosmic rays, or the effects of microgravity on the human visual system. Others may be the result of psychological factors, such as stress, isolation, or the suggestibility of the human mind. For example, the flashes of light often reported by astronauts are now understood to be caused by cosmic rays interacting with the retina. Similarly, The sensation of being watched may be a result of the brain's tendency to seek patterns and interpretations in ambiguous or unfamiliar situations. As our understanding of space and the human mind continues to evolve, it is likely that many of these reports will find explanations that are both fascinating and grounded in science. The vast, silent expanse of space is an isolating environment. Astronauts often spend months aboard the International Space Station, ISS, detached from the familiar comforts of Earth. This extreme solitude can have profound psychological effects. The absence of natural light cycles, confined living spaces, and the inability to escape from constant companions can lead to feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and even depression. These conditions are exacerbated by the lack of privacy and the pressure of performing critical tasks in a high-stakes environment. One of the most well-documented cases involves astronauts reporting unusual experiences, sometimes even sensing a presence watching them. These experiences can be attributed to the brain's coping mechanisms under extreme stress. The human mind is adept at finding patterns and creating narratives to make sense of the unknown. In the isolated confines of a spacecraft, the brain may interpret random sensory inputs or internal states as external presences. This phenomenon is not unique to astronauts. It has been observed in other extreme isolation scenarios, such as polar expeditions or solitary confinement. The psychological impact of isolation in space is a growing concern for space agencies. To mitigate these effects, astronauts undergo rigorous psychological training and support. Regular communication with family and friends, structured daily routines, and access to entertainment and recreational activities are essential. Additionally, the design of spacecraft and habitats is increasingly focused on creating spaces that promote mental well-being. For instance, the ISS has been equipped with windows that offer stunning views of Earth, providing a vital connection to home. Understanding and addressing the psychological effects of isolation is crucial for the success of future long-duration space missions. Astronauts have long been the subject of intrigue, not just for their daring space exploration but also for their accounts of unexplained phenomena. Recorded events, those documented in official logs and mission reports, often differ from private accounts shared by astronauts after their missions. These discrepancies can be attributed to various factors, including the formal nature of official documentation and the personal, subjective experiences of the astronauts. In official logs, events are typically described in a detached, factual manner. For instance, an astronaut might report seeing an unidentified object during a spacewalk, but the official record might merely note an unidentified light source. This difference arises because official logs prioritize objective data over personal interpretation. Astronauts are trained to observe and report, but their private accounts often include emotions and interpretations that don't make it into the formal records. For example, Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon, spoke privately about his belief in extraterrestrial life and his feeling of being watched during the Apollo 14 mission. These personal insights are rarely, if ever, captured in the official mission logs. Private accounts offer a more nuanced understanding of these experiences. Astronauts have shared stories of seeing strange lights, objects, or even entities during their missions. These accounts are often more vivid and detailed than their official counterparts. For instance, during the STS-48 mission, astronauts reported seeing unusual lights that they described as glowing balls moving in formation. While this event was noted in the official logs, the astronauts' private descriptions painted a more vivid picture. These personal accounts provide a richer context but lack the verification and rigor of official records. They offer a glimpse into the human side of space exploration, highlighting the profound and sometimes unsettling experiences astronauts encounter. The contrast between recorded and unrecorded events underscores the complexity of interpreting such phenomena, blending science with the personal narratives of those who venture into the unknown. In the vast, isolating expanse of space, astronauts have often found themselves grappling with inexplicable phenomena. Among these, some have reported a strange sensation of being watched, an experience that has led to notable shifts in crew dynamics. Silence, in particular, becomes a powerful language in these situations. It's not the comfortable, companionable silence shared among friends, but a heavy, palpable quiet that fills the cabin. Astronauts have described it as a sudden, almost simultaneous ceasing of casual conversation, a subtle shift that everyone notices but no one acknowledges outright. This silence often occurs after a crew member shares an unusual sighting or feeling, a moment that lingers in the air, unspoken but undeniable. Discomfort, too, is a common thread in these accounts. It manifests in different ways: a tense set to the shoulders, a sudden avoidance of eye contact, or an abrupt change in tone when the topic is broached. Astronauts, known for their meticulous training and mental fortitude, find themselves at a loss. They're used to problem solving, to finding logical explanations for the unknown. But when faced with something they can't explain or rationalize, discomfort takes hold. It's not just the unknown that unsettles them, but the uncertainty of whether they are alone in their experiences. Are others seeing the same thing? Feeling the same way? The lack of clear answers only deepens the discomfort. Avoidance of discussion is perhaps the most telling aspect of these encounters. Astronauts, who are typically open about their experiences and observations, suddenly find themselves hesitant to speak. They might change the subject abruptly, or fall silent when the topic arises. This avoidance isn't born out of fear or superstition, but rather a deep-seated uncertainty. They're unsure of how their colleagues will react, or if their own observations are merely figments of their imagination. It's a topic that's too big, too strange, to discuss casually. So, they don't. Instead, they focus on their tasks, on the tangible, the known. The unspoken understanding is that some things are best left unsaid, at least until they return to Earth. Until then, the silence, the discomfort, and the avoidance continue, a subtle testament to the mysteries that still await us in the cosmos. Space is an environment unlike anything humans have evolved to experience. Astronauts face extreme isolation, confinement, and sensory deprivation. These conditions can lead to significant stress and alter brain function. When humans are removed from familiar sensory inputs, the brain can become highly sensitive to any stimulus, no matter how small or insignificant. This heightened sensitivity might make astronauts more prone to perceiving unusual or unexplained phenomena. Stress plays a major role in how astronauts interpret their surroundings. In high-stress situations, the brain's fight-or-flight response can be triggered, making individuals more alert but also more prone to misinterpretations. For instance, a faint shadow or a slight movement in the periphery of vision might be misconstrued as something more sinister or otherworldly. This is because the brain, under stress, tends to fill in the gaps with what it expects or fears, rather than what is actually there. Studies have shown that stress can impair cognitive function, making it harder to distinguish between real and imagined threats. Sensory deprivation is another critical factor. In the vast emptiness of space, there are few sensory cues to help the brain orient itself. On Earth, we rely on gravity, wind, and other environmental factors to understand our place in the world. In space, these cues are absent. This lack of input can lead to a state of sensory deprivation, where the brain starts to create its own stimuli to compensate. Hallucinations or false perceptions can occur as the brain tries to make sense of the lack of sensory information. For example, an astronaut might see shapes or movements that aren't there, simply because the brain is craving input. The brain's response to these conditions can also be influenced by individual differences. Some people are more resilient to stress and sensory deprivation, while others may find it more challenging. Factors such as personality, past experiences, and even genetic predispositions can play a role in how an astronaut perceives their environment. Understanding these individual differences is crucial for selecting and supporting astronauts on long-duration space missions. By recognizing the potential for altered perceptions, space agencies can better prepare astronauts and provide them with the tools and support they need to manage these experiences. In the vast, silent expanse of space, astronauts have reported experiences that defy conventional understanding. These accounts, often dismissed as mere hallucinations or misinterpretations, contain unanswered elements that do not fit neatly into known explanations. One such incident involves the mysterious UFO sightings reported by astronauts during various missions. These sightings often describe objects moving in ways that defy the laws of physics as we understand them, with rapid, erratic movements that no known technology could replicate. Astronauts have also reported encountering strange lights or objects that seem to watch them. These lights, often described as pulsating or changing color, have been observed to follow or approach the spacecraft. In some cases, these lights have been reported to perform maneuvers that are impossible for any known human-made object. The lack of any visible means of propulsion or control adds to the mystery, leaving scientists baffled and skeptics searching for rational explanations. Another puzzling aspect is the phenomenon of space anomalies. Astronauts have reported seeing unexplained structures or formations on the lunar surface and other celestial bodies. These formations, often described as tower-like or geometric in shape, do not fit the natural landscape and have not been observed in high-resolution images taken by spacecraft. The The discrepancies between what astronauts report seeing and what the images show have led to speculation about the existence of extraterrestrial artifacts or natural phenomena that are not yet understood. The issue of communication also raises unanswered questions. Astronauts have reported experiencing strange radio transmissions or interference that cannot be attributed to any known source. These transmissions, often described as unusual patterns or signals, have been reported during times when the spacecraft was not in communication with Earth. The inability to trace the origin of these signals has left scientists searching for explanations, with some suggesting the possibility of natural cosmic phenomena or even extraterrestrial communication. Stories of astronauts reporting sightings of unexplained phenomena have persisted for decades, becoming a staple in space mythology. These accounts, often involving strange lights, unidentified objects, or even entities observing the astronauts, continue to captivate the public imagination. The persistence of these stories can be attributed to several factors. Astronauts are seen as highly trained, credible observers. When they report something unusual, it carries weight. Additionally, the vastness and mystery of space provide a fertile ground for speculation and storytelling. Psychological factors also play a role. The isolation, confinement, and extreme environment of space can affect perception and cognition. Astronauts may experience sensory deprivation or hallucinations, leading to reports of unexplained phenomena. Furthermore, the human brain is wired to seek patterns and meaning, even in randomness. In the isolation of space, this can manifest as seeing patterns where none exist. The long-term impact of these stories on space mythology is profound. They contribute to the romanticization of space exploration, adding an element of mystery and adventure. This can inspire public interest and support for space programs. Moreover, these stories often blur the line between science and fiction, influencing popular culture. They appear in movies, books, and art, shaping our collective understanding of space and our place in the universe. However, these stories also pose challenges. They can undermine the credibility of astronauts and space agencies. Skeptics may dismiss their scientific findings, attributing them to overactive imaginations or a desire for attention. Additionally, the persistence of these stories can fuel conspiracy theories and misinformation. It's a delicate balance between acknowledging the mystery of space and maintaining the scientific integrity of space exploration. As we conclude our journey through the cosmos, let's recap the extraordinary encounters shared by astronauts who reported seeing something watching them. From mysterious lights to peculiar objects, these experiences have sparked curiosity and debate, reminding us that the universe is vast and full of mysteries. We've explored their stories, the possible explanations, and the profound impact these sightings have had on our understanding of space. We hope this video has inspired you to look up at the night sky with a sense of wonder and curiosity. As always, stay tuned for more intriguing stories from the cosmos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for our next adventure into the unknown. Until then, keep exploring and questioning, because the universe is waiting.